Hi guys, I'm Jake Bresson with Bresson Painting. Today I'm going to be doing a few cut-ins, and I thought I'd show you guys how I go about doing my cut-ins. So what I first do is I load up my brush here in my cut bucket, and then my first move up here is just to lay some of the excess paint off and then take a side with some of the paint still on it and just work that right into the corner where the ceiling meets with the wall. And if you get a little bit heavy with your line onto the ceiling, as long as it's straight and it's not too slopped, you can just continue that to make a straight line. And if you stay back, from the ceiling a little bit, it'll give you a little bit more room on your second coat to go through and clean up. And what I will do is I'm working here with my line. I'll just keep my line going. And the excess paint that I wiped off, I will go through then and just work in to bring my trim down a brush width from the ceiling. And if you got some light spots on your first coat, don't worry about it. You can get those on your second coat. Once my brushwork is done up there, I'm going to take a Worcester Jumbo Coater. We call these hot dog handles covers because it's about the size of a hot dog. We like to work with these little guys here just to go through and lay out our brush marks. So I'll take my mini roller then, load it up, and just go through, getting as close as I can to the ceiling to cover up my brush marks without hitting the ceiling. And then you can bring that down some more too if you want to bring it down 2 roller widths, so that when you go to get out your 9 or your 14 or 18-inch roller cover, you don't have to get so close to the ceiling and risk getting paint all over a freshly painted ceiling. Now, one thing here, I'm working on a stairwell. I don't know if you guys can tell right here. This wall is at a diagonal. We're going down a basement stairwell. If I take a step back, I'm gonna fall down the stairs. But here on stairwells, when you have a diagonal wall, I like to bring my trim down at least 2 roller widths, and that way, when I have my bigger 9-inch roller and I come up here, I don't have to risk one end of it hitting up against the ceiling because I don't have to go up as high. I just come up, into, if I roll down to here, I bring my 9-inch up and I get into it, but I'm not so close over here. I hope that makes sense for you guys. If this is just a regular horizontal seam here where the wall meets with the ceiling, I'll bring it just down 1 roller width, and that way when I roll with my 9, I know that's how close I need to get. Stairwells, a little bit different, but if it's just a standard room, straight walls, you don't need to worry about it. I'm going to keep on working here, and if you guys want, you can watch. And I do appreciate you taking the time to view my video, and I hope I helped you out. So I'm just going to pick up right where that line left and just try to follow it as best I can, going back and filling in some of the light spots. I'm almost out of paint here in my cut pot. I've got my Worcester cut pot, Worcester brush, Worcester handle. I'm from Worcester. But really, there's nothing else out there that I've found that makes doing this job any easier than these tools right here. So I'm going to take my angled sash brush here and wipe off paint from one side onto the wall, and keeping paint on the other side, I'll then use the side with the paint still on it to go right along the seam there where the wall meets with the ceiling. And with a steady hand as I can have to keep my lines straight. You don't want to have your brush too full of paint when you're doing these cut-ins, but you want enough paint on there, obviously, that you're going to get some on the wall. And if you're doing your project and you don't trust yourself, a lot of times the best time to repaint your ceiling is when you paint your walls, and you can lap your ceiling paint down onto your walls just a little bit. And if you make any mistakes then as you're painting, you can always go back and get out your flat ceiling paint and do touch-ups as needed. Take my mini roller here and smooth out my brush marks and bring it down a little bit so that when I do my final roll, I don't need to get so close to the ceiling. Hey, there you have it, guys. I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, feel free to click subscribe down below. Give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'll do my best to get back to them and answer them as best I can. Hey, thanks again for watching, guys.